Good morning. So we are continuing with the Uddhava Gita. We had done till chapter 17 verse 38. So today we are going to do verse 39 onwards. If you recollect, Uddhava had asked some questions to Sri Krishna and Krishna was responding to him. He was talking about the various aspects of mind. So today we are going to continue with that itself. And what is it that makes us create this kind of a space for ourselves? We are doing the Uddhava Gita. This is chapter 17, the last message of Sri Krishna, verse 39. O generous one, the complete acceptance by a man of particular sense object as himself is called his birth, as in the case of a dream and imagination. Now, this is a sentence which is very critical for us to understand. Whatever that a person accepts, he becomes that. Now let us say, for example, you were born in a particular place and you are used to a particular style of living. That becomes your mainstay. You don't even accept any other thing. So if I were born in Iceland or Greenland or the Antarctic or Arctic Circle or whichever the northern climates or the southern ones, I would accept myself as that person. Today there are lots of people whose parents have migrated from different countries. Say for example, India, China, the Europe, Mexico, Canada, you name it. All these people came to United States. Okay, just an example. They start believing that they are US citizens. Why? Because you are born over there. So tomorrow, let us say we send a manned mission to Mars or Venus or maybe some other planet, I don't know. And if a child is born on the moon or Mars, what is the nationality of the child? So will he be called a Martian or a moon man or something like that? I want you to think about this. That person accepts it. I was born in the moon, so moon belongs to me. So this is the thing which he is talking about. He says, the complete acceptance by a man of a particular sense object as himself is called his birth. When you accept certain things, I'm a very angry person, I hate this thing, I don't like this thing. When you give yourself these same things over and over and over again, it becomes your nature. And this nature is very critical. You accept that this is who you are and that is what you become. It is literally like a dream and imagination. You imagine yourself as that. Imagine you are a madman and you believe you are the king of this world. It's a dream. It's a madman's dream. He thinks he is the king and he goes around wearing some small cap and maybe he's carrying one stick and he feels that there is a crown on his head and there's a scepter in his hand. And he's ruling the world and he's the king of that world. he starts believing in that. You become that. It's a very simple way of looking at it. You accept it and you become that. It's your nature which is driven by some sense object. Alright? Now there are lots of people in this world who start believing in a certain philosophy. The philosophy could be anything, any kind of religion or a philosophy. Oh, I am like this, I am like this, I belong to this religion, I belong to this sect, I am like that. Okay? So, and then it becomes your nature. Many people do not have denominations. They do not believe that they are Christians or Muslims or Indians or Hindus or Sikhs or whatever. They don't believe in all these things and they say, oh, I am an atheist. I'm an agnostic. Okay? You're atheist and you are agnostic also. So where were you born? Oh, I was born in a Hindu family. You were born in a Hindu family and I became agnostic. The greatest example is Swami Vivekananda. Why? Why are you agnostic? Or why are you atheist? It is acceptance of what you think you are. You put a crown on your head saying that I am the madman, I am the atheist, and you accept it. And that acceptance is the complete acceptance as if in a dream or in imagination. It's like when you are dreaming. In your dream, of course you dream with your eyes closed. Daytime dreams are, oh, I want to become like Elon Musk or somebody like that. But otherwise when you're sleeping, your dreams are that you have become somebody, or you have become a rich man, or you're marrying somebody, or you're having so many children, or you have become maybe the prime minister of the country, God knows whatever that you think of. And in your dream you become that. And you accept it. It's only when you open your eyes and your dream breaks that you come to know, oh my God, this is what it is. I am a miserable person. Similarly, in imagination, a person imagines himself to be somebody. As a kid, have you not played, robbers and, police and robbers, thieves? You have played all kinds of games as a kid. As a kid, you might have played doctor. I'm sure, the false stethoscopes and those things. Okay, let me see your... Those kind of things we have done in our life as a kid. And we believe at that point in time, I am going to become a doctor. That is how you start believing. There are parents who believe that their children are geniuses. And they say, oh, my son is like this or my daughter is like this. And they think that themselves to be geniuses. Accept it. The acceptance comes to that person. Now, the main story. Suppose you accept a certain belief, a certain thought about yourself, that this is who I am. It becomes firm on you. And then you cannot get out of it. I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Christian. Accept. There you go into that direction. I am an Indian, I am a Pakistani, I am an American, I am a Chinese. Can a Chinese person say that he is Indian? No way. He is never going to say that. And do you think an Indian will say he is a Pakistani? He is never going to say that. He is going to say, no way, I will not talk like this. I won't even accept it. Sir, everybody came from the same land. What are you talking about yourself? Some person demarcated a line between, countries. Or this became Pakistan, this became India, that became China, that became Myanmar, that became Sri Lanka. Okay, I am a Sri Lankan. What? Just because there is a line drawn and the line defines you? I mean, think about it. Does a line define you? That is exactly what you are accepting. And that acceptance comes because of your sense objects. You are seeing the demarcation, and the demarcation creates that. You have heard of stories where a baby, maybe it's a cat or some rabbit or some such kind of a creature who is saved from the wild and brought. That cat or whichever animal that is immediately accepts the one who is saving as the mother. Have you not seen that? Exactly what happens to the human beings. A generous one, the complete acceptance of a man of particular sense object as himself is called his birth. It is called his birth. He has given himself the birth. He accepts that he is like this. I am born in this family. I belong to this family. What are you talking about? You belong to this family. That is the way you look at it and you accepted it. And that is the reason why it is called birth. You are born there. Imagine, you are living in the 70s and the 80s. And there was Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR. You belong to USSR. You are a Soviet citizen. Suddenly the perestroika comes in. The change occurs under Mr. Gorbachev, and then all the countries separate out. It was called the Soviet Union. Now you became another country. You became Russia. You became Georgia. You became Uzbekistan. All different countries. Now what do you call yourself? I am an Uzbek. What? Earlier you were calling yourself you were a Russian, and now you are become an Uzbeki. I mean, what are you talking about? Just because there is a division and there is a line drawn? Did you understand? This is what Krishna is talking about. In acceptance of whatever you think you are, you become that. It becomes your birth. Then what will happen is you will get a new passport also for yourself. Isn't that true? Suppose I migrate to another country. Suppose I go to Australia. And in Australia, I live for many years. After that, I get the citizenship of the country. I have to give up the Indian passport and I have to take a new passport, Australian passport. I become an Australian now. This is the way how it works. And you accept it and you become that. So it is like a dream or an imagination, but that is not the truth. So here Krishna is giving an example of how mind accepts certain things, including your nature. Your own nature, if you look at it, you come with your nature from your past life and your current parents and your relatives and your friends. Now suppose you are very much attached to your parents, then you get their characteristics. Okay? The way of their eating, drinking, sleeping, and whatever that they do in their life, you accept it and that becomes literally ingrained inside of you. Then what happens is, then you grow up. You become 16-year-old and you become a rebel. And when you become a rebel in your family, you go out and say, I hate my parents, I don't like this one. In the 60s, there was a hippie movement. All these, John Lennon and all these people who were there during that time. A hippie movement was so much there that they left everything and they had long hairs, long beards. Okay, they looked like a Chelsea, junkies. And they would be doing drugs and, lying around here and there, free sex, all kinds of nonsensical stuff was going on at that time. They accepted themselves as hippies. So the hippie movement started. Now this is what happens. Today's day and age, a very funny movement has started. It is called nomadic movement. The nomadic movement is because of the pandemic, people have shifted to some places. They have gone to live in the mountains. I get my internet over there, I am going to stay in the mountains, they say. Pahadi. Pahadi means from the mountains. Alright? So, now I stay in the mountains and I do my work from there. I stay in the oceans, I stay in Bali. I stay in all these islands. And it has become like that. I've gone to my native place. I've become that. That is how they behave. But they were sitting in, major cities of this world. Someone was in London, someone was in New York, then San Francisco, and, Delhi, and you name it, all the big capitals and cities of this world they were staying in. And they used to go, I am a New Yorker. I'm a Delhiite. I'm from London. And now where are you from? Oh, I am in Birmingham. Okay? I live in the Orange County. Acha? I'm from Nainital. Sir, you was now staying in Delhi and now from Delhi you became a Billy and went away to Nainital? And now you are saying, oh no, I am in Manali now. So there are these kind of people also. They believe now they are from that place. And this is where the birth happens. If you start accepting certain things, certain professions, you see, if you accept certain things, then you become that. You forget your real nature. You forget you are the divine being. This is the problem in our world. Krishna is explaining to Uddhava this very nicely. So we will move to the next verse now. We are doing chapter 17 from the Uddhava Gita, verse 40. In a similar way, he no more remembers the old dream and imagination. In the new experience, he considers his old self as just come into being. Alright. Now this is the strangest part. A person starts accepting the new stuff. And the old that you were, that was not me. I was not that. People who were there. Now, yesterday I met somebody from the retail industry. He had come over here. Now he wants to become a consultant in information technology. Think like this. You were something prior to pandemic, and now pandemic changed everything and now you have become somebody else. What are you now? I am like this. And then they completely erase their past life. I am no way concerned with that. That is not me. Then who are you? You are this new person? You are making a fool of yourself. This is an example. Please understand this. You are still the miserable old person that you are. Just because you put on paint, makeup, and create a new identity for yourself, you cannot become that. You are fooling yourself and the world. That is not who you are. What is your real nature? Human beings forget their real nature. He no more remembers the old dream and imagination. The world of dreams and imagination, that past is like that. Think about those people who came from the very lower strata of society and now they have become super rich. They forget it. They forget who they are. I don't know about this kind of a thing. Why? Because see, that was my past. So you were living in a ghetto or you were living in a jhoppadpatti. You understand? A jhoppadpatti means a hut. Basically, you are living in the lowest realms of the society and now you have become super rich and you forgot that place. That is not me. This is me. Did you get this point? You refuse to accept that portion of yours. Why do you do that? What makes you think that you have become somebody different? This is the meaning of the previous verse. The new dream is you, and the old dream, that is not me. You completely erase that, and that becomes like, that is another person, The funniest part is, in many a times, you will come across a person who has been working for 40, 50 years in some company somewhere. And that person has been, maybe he's a bank employee, maybe he's a government employee, maybe he's working in some multinational corporation or something like that. And he's been doing that for many, many years. And suddenly one day it says, I realize I have a lot of talent in me. I can become a YouTube artist. I am a singer. I can become an artist of singing songs. Sometimes he will say, no, I am a very good painter. That was my childhood dream. Do you know that? As a child, I thought of myself painting things. And because I had to work hard in the material world, so for 30 years of my life, I was working over there. And now I have changed my lifestyle. I am living my childhood dream. Wow. You're living your childhood dream? Did you get the word over there? Dream. They're all fake. Dreams are unreal. You have gone through your life and you discount your life. And this is what happens to human beings. They accept the new as something that they have convinced themselves that I am like this. Who told you? Some idiots in your life told you that you are like this. You're a great singer, Wow, you are a great singer. You are an idiot. A primary idiot. Just because you got carried away by 100 people telling you certain things and you think that you have become somebody great? You are the miserable old person. There is no change in you. You have just become just imagine, from a wild animal. You were a wild animal earlier and now you have become another animal in the zoo. A lion who was roaming in the jungles is suddenly bought and put in a zoo. That is what you have become. You have become a person of ridicule. People are looking at him and saying, he's a lion. See the way he is roaring. From one cage, you have come to another cage. You are a free animal there and now you have become a caged animal. And because you have to perform now. Perform means what? If you are a singer, you have to sing. If you are an actor, you have to act. You are building a cage for yourself and you think that is what I am. I am a caged lion. I'm a caged hyena. I can only do like this, like that. That's it. You have to behave like that. Have you seen that picture where they go to that Madagascar and all those series? The animals, they are in the New York Zoo and they escape from there. And when they escape from there, they go to some jungles. They're not able to cope up with it. They are the zoo animals who have gone to the jungle. Imagine a jungle animal coming to the zoo becomes a different person. And the person accepts it. Yes, I am the performing monkey. This is what happens in our life also. A person has a lot of aspirations as a young person, thinking that I will become this and I will become that. And then the person says, I have so much of ambition. I will become the greatest person in the world. I will do my MBA, I will do my this and I will do my that. And they make all those big fancy degrees come to them. And then they find the man or the woman of their dreams. Dream. Again, the same word came into the picture again. The imagination, the world of dreams comes into the picture. And then you are in the dream for some time. And then from that MBA and from the great degrees that you have done and that you wanted to change the world, you become an employee or a servant of somebody. You may be a CEO of a very big corporation also. Please remember this. You are a CEO of a biggest corporation in the world. Sir, you are just a paid servant of that corporation. You may be getting millions of dollars in salary, but sir, you are the servant of those people. And you are happy that you are the servant of some people. That is what you put yourself in another cage. You are a performing artist. You have to perform for the chairman of the company, for the directors of the company, and for every other person. And if you are married, you have to perform like a monkey for your wife, or the wife has to perform like a monkey for the husband. You know Jamuri. You know Jamura means, the person who goes around with that, twin drum of his and makes the monkey go round and round. He said, hey, chal, Jamuri. Hey, he keeps on doing that. That's what you become. You become enslaved in this world. You become a slave to your family. You become a slave to your parents. In the beginning, you become a slave to your parents. Think about it. Were you not a slave to your parents before? You have to earn your money and you have to feed them and you have to take care of them. Where is your freedom? Nowhere. You have to live that life. And then you get married, then you have to work for your family. The new family, maybe the wife, the husband, the children that come along. You are a servant of theirs. That's another dream. You are a servant in the office. You are a servant of your family. You are a servant in this world. You are a servant of your friends also. Because at the weekend they will say, Chalo, chalte hain. Let's go and have a drink. And you program your life accordingly. This is the dream a person lives. And he becomes that person. That is called his new life. Forgetting who he is. Now imagine, like I said, the person was MBA. Now this MBA completely forgets the main reason why they did the MBA in the first place. To serve the society. Serving the society? So whom are you serving now? Your parents, your wife, your husband, and then your children? And then you want to build a house for them? Then you want to have a bank balance? You are a servant, no doubt. And your dreams? New dream is going on. And it's a hard-hitting dream. Tabak, it hits you. The pandemic made the dream literally like a nightmare to many people. Do you know how this thing became a nightmare to people? No money, no jobs, no contracts, nowhere to go. What am I going to do? human beings became afraid. There was no money anywhere. There was no business. People were afraid of losing their jobs. The dream became a nightmare. All the money that they had saved was used up. I am thinking of taking up a job now. But you are an old man, who's going to give you a job? I will take up something, Oh, what am I going to do? These are the hard-hitting truths of the material world. And Krishna explains this in a similar way. He no more remembers the old dream and imagination. In the new experience, he considers his old self just as coming into being. He accepts that part. It's the same thing with life after life. In the spiritual terms, when you take up this new life of yours, when you were born, you took up yourself as I am the human being born to XYZ parents, X and Y parents, they can be no Z. Okay, nowadays you can't even say X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all can be parents. Isn't it very funny? I mean, there is a couple which cannot conceive. Okay, and the conception doesn't happen, so they go to the sperm bank and buy a sperm. The woman doesn't have ovulation, so she goes and, hires a womb. Now this couple has a baby with somebody else's sperm. That lady is the, surrogate mother. The surrogate mother says, oh, this child is mine. How can the child be yours? Just because it is there in your womb, it is yours. And then these people adopt the child. So can you please tell me whose son or whose daughter it is? Nobody knows. The child is a nincompoop and the parents are bigger. So everybody over there is the biggest confused person on earth. Whose child is it? Does it belong to a country also? No, it doesn't belong to any country. Can you call that child Indian? Okay, the conception happened in Sri Lanka. Oh, so funny. And the child was delivered in some other country. In Thailand, the child was delivered. Do you see the confusion here? Conception happened in one country, the child was delivered in another country, is a citizen of a third country. This is the confusion everybody is in, and they start believing in that nonsense. I am born in Thailand, I am a Thai citizen. Why? You are not any citizen, you don't have any astitva, you don't even have any existence in this world. This is the truth. And please remember this truth always. Because you think you are somebody's son, you think you are somebody's husband and wife, you think of yourself as somebody's, relative, somebody's this, some country is yours. There is nothing like that. It's all a dream. The dream can be just punctured, but with one pin, it will go off. When you understand the spiritual truth, who are you? When I look at people getting from one dream into another, Guruji, can I invest in this place? I want to take up this opportunity. Okay? Somebody else will come to me with another object. Guruji, I think I should take up this new job. Okay? Guruji, I am getting married. Guruji, I want to do these studies. Can I go abroad for studies? I can just look at them and feel sad. They do not understand who they are. They think that the new thing that is coming is their new dream, and they accept that dream as real. And then the dream breaks. And then the dream breaks, and then they have another dream, and then they have another dream, and another dream. In all this, very spiritual, sir. It is called rebirth. You are going to be born again and again and again and again and again. And every time it's a new dream. You will be happy in the beginning, you will be sad in the end. That's your story. You take up a new job, you are going to be happy for a few days. You will be sad after that because you will be treated like a servant. At the end of the day, you are still a chaprasi, a servant anywhere you go. Wherever you go, what are you? You are just a servant over there. But you call yourself as, I am like this, I am the CEO of a company. What CEO, sir? You are still working for somebody, you are a Shudra. Understand? This whole world is that. That world is not a good one according to our Indian way of thinking. But everybody is a worker. There are no kings and queens there. Got it? And this is what Krishna is talking about. You become that person. So we will move to the next verse. We are doing chapter 17 from the Uddhava Gita, verse 41. As the man creates phantom bodies in a dream, so his threefold divisions, which are the creation of the mind, appears in the Atma, which becomes the cause of the division of the interior and the exterior. These are called phantom bodies. Every time when you change yourself from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, these are called phantom bodies. Nothing is real. Today, if you are a painter, an actor, a sculptor, or a consultant, or a husband or a wife, it is all a dream. It's a phantom body created by you. It is unreal. There is nothing real in that body. You can paint the canvas and say, I am a painter. You can paint your face and say, I am an actor. You can paint the companies red or black and say, I am a consultant. You got what I am saying? You can paint whichever color you want and you think you are that. But it is a phantom body you have created for yourself. It's a fake thing. And you accept it and you live in that dream world of yours, created by your mind. So the threefold divisions are there. Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmik. The threefold divisions are there. That also, it is this so-called dream which creates this kind of a thing. And the mind, it appears in the Atma. What happens to it is, we start accepting that nonsense. I am an artist. I'll tell you a story of a great artist from the past. Now this artist from the past, I'm forgetting the name, but you may remember. What happened to him was, he was a great painter. He used to paint very beautifully. One of the greatest painters of all times. You see in the museum a painting of his, which is called a self-portrait. In the self-portrait, he has tied up his head. Do you know the reason why he tied up his head? Is because he had cut off his ear. Google this, which painter cut off his ear, and you will come to know the name. So this man, he cuts his ear off. The reason why he cuts his ear off is given in that. So what happens is, another painter is there. This painter lives in another city. Now this man, this great painter number 1, becomes a fan of this painter number 2. And he's literally fallen in love with that person. So he gives him money and says, come over to my place. And the second person comes and stays in this place. And in that 1 month's time, the first painter, who is having little money, pays for everything for the second one. And they live together. One day, the first painter, what he does is, he's completely deranged because the other fellow doesn't want to conform to his way of thinking. So what he does is, the second one has gone out to have a drink. The first one cuts his ear off in one hotel. He's taken a room somewhere. He goes to that hotel, cuts his ear off, and is lying there unconscious. This other person is meanwhile drinking. Somebody realizes it. Meanwhile, the second painter packs up his belongings and goes away. The first one dies a miserable death. End of story. Did you see this dream? The dream was, he became a great painter. He cut his ear off also. And then he painted himself without the ear. This is what happens to you when you accept this phantom body of yours. I am a consultant. I am a husband. I am a wife. I am an actor. I am a painter. I am a, whatever you are. You may be the greatest politician on earth. You may be the president of a great country. After you lost your position, you still believe you are the president of that country. That is your dream. Then it becomes a nightmare to you. And this is what he says. You create these phantom bodies and you start dwelling in those phantom bodies. And the phantom body is become a second skin of yours. Now the funny part happens. He says, the mind appears in the Atma. Now, I will give you the understanding here. The Atma is not the body. All the bodies that you have, the sheets, they are called the sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets are there. 3 bodies. The 3 bodies are, one is the gross body, this one which you touch, feel and see. This is called the gross body. Below that is the subtle body, which is called the mind and the intellect. And then we have the third, that is the happy guy. Causal body, that is. These 3 bodies are there. And you are none of them. You are only, they are the containers. These are 3 containers that you are talking about. These 3 containers are divided into 5 categories, sheets. It's like you are taking one chadar, another chadar. Chadar means a blanket, You understand? An eider down. So you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. The topmost is this, what you see. The second one is the breath. The third one is the mind. The fourth one is the intellect. And the fifth one is the happy fellow, the happy guy. None of this is yours. They are sheets. They are coverings. It is like a small present which is covered by various, layers and layers of wrapping paper. So you can look only at the wrapping paper on top. This is the wrapping paper. If you are dark skinned, you say, I am a dark skinned person. I am fair. I've got blue eyes. I've got green eyes. I've got yellow eyes. I don't know if there are yellow eyes. Well, the funny part is that, the latest person on the internet, the sensation, he sees an Israeli girl, 21 years old. She has got big fat lips. And she has got blue eyes, bluish green eyes. That is the way in which she's a model. The most beautiful woman in the world, they call her. Suppose you remove her eyes out. And the lips, they become flattened out. You are a nobody. Got it? So these fake coverings is what you accept. I got white hair, I got black hair. That's a fake covering. Go and shave your entire head off and put one, orange color wig on top. What are you, orange top? So that is what you make yourself into. And that is the fake identity you create for yourself. This fake identity is all that you have. And every time when you get from one level to the other, to the other, to the other, you create every time new fake identities. And that is what he says. And these identities now go inwards. And the mind, remember the mind. The mind is also a body, it's a subtle body. It literally brainwashes itself into thinking, telling the Atma, you are like this. In the controversy that goes on in this world, Jesus Christ is an Indian. Who told you that, sir? That's a fake thing. Nobody is Indian, nobody is British, nobody is this, but you start accepting it. That identification of the body becomes your life. And then it becomes the cause of the division of the interior and the exterior. The body has been given to you, so that you can do certain things in the world using the body as the medium. But the body is using you now. It's telling you, see, I am like this. You Atma, shut up. You are nobody. What happens to the man is he forgets that he is a part of the divine. He is the Atma, a part of the Paramatma. He forgets that he is that God Almighty himself and accepts this falsehood that I am this body, my name is so and so, I am born in this country, I live in this city, my name is so and I am married to so and so, I have children, I have a bank account, I have a car, I have this, I have that. All this becomes part of this body. And this is what you accept. Whereas you are not even the body. The body is just a container you have taken for a time being. It is exactly like you go and sit in an aircraft. The aircraft seat is only meant for time duration. You go to a hotel and you take a hotel room only for a certain time duration. After that, you cannot take your hotel room with you anywhere. Again, it's the same thing when you become a student in a school. Only for the time being. You become a college student only for the time being. You become a husband only for the time being. There is a certain time factor involved in it. You are a consultant only for a time being. That's it. And you accept that as real. And you start telling yourself, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this, and I am this. This is what Krishna is telling Uddhava. Krishna is teaching Uddhava, telling him that this is what human beings accept, that they are this body. I get very angry, Oh, you get very angry. I get very upset when people do this kind of a thing. You get upset. That is your nature. You have bought this inherent nature from some gutter. And now you have become exactly like that. Right? There is nothing real in it. Everything is unreal. Everything is fake. You have created fake identities of yourself. And this is what he means when he says there is an interior and there is an exterior that you have created. God is invisible to you. The Atma that is inside of you doesn't become anything. You don't even know that there is an Atma inside. For you, there is nothing inside. I am just the body. When we started, did I not tell you that those who do not understand anything become atheist? You know what he will say? I am a body. I will be dead very soon. All this Atma and soul and things, all that is fake. I'm only going to the dust. I'm going to be buried. I'm going to get burnt. And that is what happens to me. Nothing else happens to me. And he has accepted it. Has anybody said that he is not supposed to accept? Did I not say in the beginning? This is what, O generous one, the complete acceptance by a man of a particular sense object as himself is called his birth. The moment he accepts something, he becomes that person. Now practical experience and practical knowledge for you. If you start accepting that you are, I am like this only. I say. You know, in Hindi films they say, and in Mumbai language, upon I such Munna by MBBS. You are just like that? What are you talking about? The upon I such hai, I am like this only. It's a film. You accepted that. You accepted your life and you became that. You are nothing like that. You are the divine one. And you have forgotten your divinity completely. You have not even remembered your Atma because you have accepted this dream as unreal thing as real. And this is the truth about life. Krishna is telling Uddhava this. So we'll move to the next verse. My friend. Alright. We are doing Uddhava Gita, chapter 17, verse 42. Krishna is addressing Uddhava. My friend, through this imperceptible march of time, creatures are being continuously born and dying. But this is not observed because of his subtlety. This birth and death happens continuously. You are born and you die and you're born and you die. This happens on a continuous basis in your lifetime. Why? Because you have accepted the false as real. This imperceptible march of time, creatures are continually born and dying. But this is not observed because of its subtlety. Yesterday, I was telling someone, you see, there was one person who was very devoted to me once upon a time. He would come for my satsangs and he would be a very regular person. Then he joined a company. He became an employee of a company. 1.5 years ago, he got married. Today, this man is literally the servant of his company and the servant of his wife. Spirituality is not there in the picture at all. The spiritual world that was there existing in his life prior to his marriage doesn't exist anymore. Once in a while, Happy New Year Guruji. He will say these words. Happy New Year Guruji. What do you think? I am here sitting to be wished like any other ordinary person. Happy New Year Guruji. Yeah, I watch your satsangs. Watching satsangs? I am not even interested if you don't watch. Do you think I promote myself anywhere? I don't care because very simple. Those who are true seekers will actually see and learn and will want to be a part of my world. But that world doesn't exist because spiritual, I have got this job, you see, 24/7, I have to be worried about it. If I don't have the job, where will I get money to eat my food, sir? And my wife is there, I have to cater to her whims and fancies. She wants saris, she wants dresses, she wants to go out. We have a bike, we go out and we come. Sometimes we take long trips and all that. Yeah, I have to do all those kind of things. God, no Guruji, I always remember you. What falsehood is that? Remembering me has nothing to do with your spiritual development. The spiritual development is required because you should not be born again and again and again and again. The cycle of rebirth is terrible. This time you are a human being connected to a woman. In the next life, because you are going to do so many karmas with her, in the next life, she will be your slave. This time you are her slave. That is what will become. And who has told you that you will be given a human birth, sir? There is no human birth because you have degraded yourself to the level you may be born in another womb. Maybe a pig, maybe an elephant, maybe a salamander, maybe even a penguin. You may be born as a kida makoda, a worm. Who knows what you are going to become? You think you will be able to override your karma? No, no way. Spirituality teaches you how to not to be born again. You have to cut your cycle of birth and death. Every cycle of yours. Now think about it. Those who are watching this satsang, please ask yourself this question. Are you really happy? What have you achieved in this world? You are the most miserable person from birth till today. A servant when you were born and a servant even today. Not only of your spouses, your children, your family, your people around, your companies, your country. You are a servant of everybody. And there is no happiness in you. By the way, you will be born again and again. You can go and visit all those gods in this country if you want. Any country. Oh, spiritual India. I will go to spiritual India and visit. You can go wherever you want. You can go 100 times to Tirupati. You can go 1,000 times to the northern, Himalayas. Doesn't matter. You are not going to get you think you are not going to be reborn again. You are going to be 100% reborn again. For getting this, cutting this cycle of birth and death, you need to become spiritual. And spirituality doesn't mean doing your yogasana and pranayama. That is utter nonsense. Yogasana, pranayama is going to only lead you towards the rebirth. I can guarantee you this much. Because nowhere has Krishna ever said these words. Otherwise, don't you think Shri Ram would be sitting in a particular posture and doing, don't disturb me just now, I am doing my pranayama. I am doing those massive exercises. Have you ever heard of Shri Ram or Shri Krishna doing Padmasana and all those asanas? Think. Use your common sense. Have you ever seen Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Sai Baba of Shirdi, Ramana Maharshi, or Mirabai, or Kabir, anytime doing any breathing exercise or yogasanas, any time in life? It's not there. That is your belief system. You become that. You start believing, I have to do yoga. What yoga? He is going to give you rebirth, sir. This is what he's talking about. My friend, through this imperceptible march of time, creatures are born continually. Born and dying. But this is not observed due to the subtlety. The subtlety is there. You will never ever observe it. We are going to continue this tomorrow. Because tomorrow again we will be having the same satsang from verse 43 onwards. The subtlety of it, I will explain to you tomorrow what exactly is this subtle thing. And why is it that you do not understand spirituality is so important? Spirituality has nothing to do with the bodies. It has to do with the spirit only. And the spirit is that divine Atma inside. Atma. Nothing to do with body. You can do breathing exercise, you can do whatever exercise you want. That is not affecting the Atma in any way. Just now, did we not learn in the previous verse, 41 verse, where Atma is the interior, it's somewhere there, and exterior, that is you. That body which you have accepted, the false belief in you is what you have accepted. That subtle thing we will be doing tomorrow. So I'm sure you have learned quite a lot today, if you have really listened to it. So I will stop over here. We have done till verse 42 of the Uddhava Gita. I will see you all tomorrow for verse 43 onwards, chapter 17. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.